Okay, we're gonna work on the back wall because our roof section is in pretty good shape, and I need the back wall to get the hinges on, and then to get that going. So that's a tall back wall. This is the short front wall, and it has paneling, like 1/8 inch, 3/16 inch paneling, and then siding. And number one, it is too effing heavy. I can't lift the effing thing with all that paneling on there. So that's gotta go. So I'm not putting paneling on that one. And I wanted it to extend down, but this, there is not enough gap, so this impedes, as you can probably see over here. See, the paneling comes down, but it hits here, so I need to put a spacer. So here's my thought that we're going to try in this wall. So here's my thought. 1/2 inch foam board, provide insulation a little bit, but more just a rigid, lightweight panel. I will add some 1x3s on the back side with some metal brackets there, probably 3 of them for support. Again, lightweight. Instead of using full 2x4s, I'm gonna use 1x3s, and then get some pressure treated plywood that doesn't cover up the hole that we need to put the peg in, but covers up the seam. I don't want water getting on the floor. I want it to go underneath. So I put a screw on top of the foam board into the 2x4 behind it, and then put siding all the way up. I'm thinking that's what I'd like to try. And I do need to get my brackets for the roof hinge put in too. Okay, so I have purchased some, I think it's 1/4 inch plywood and 1/2 inch foam board. I'd like to see which one, what's the weight difference. So let's have a look. All right, looking like 15 pounds for the panel. All right, and the foam board looks like it's probably 3 pounds. Let me have a look and see. So just the wood frame looks like 25 pounds, which is just the frame. All right, 4 pounds over 15 pounds. That's already like 25 pounds. So we're talking 40 pounds versus 30 pounds, right? Something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the foam board, and I'm gonna put some strips in here for support for the foam board. I bought some of these to do that with. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're just using these cleats or metal clamps, and that is not necessarily structural from the frame point of view. It'll add some this way, but it's mostly for the foam board not to push in. So we gotta put 2 more in. Okay, I'm glad someone caught that slight error. This is the inside. I need those things to be on the outside, the other side, because this is where the foam's gonna be on the outside, so I gotta move this to be on flush with here. Thanks for that. Okay, so after further review of the play on the field, I think we're gonna change our first attempt here. Let's get my butt on the ground. So instead of trying to put a plywood strip down here, I need an offset. I need an offset to get this away from the platform. I need this to hang down at least an inch to get the wire to drip past the floor seam. So I thought I'd use something like this, but at Home Depot, the only bottom thing they had was this, which is like, I'm used to only that size, so this is bigger. So I'm thinking I could just do that, and this, if I screw it down enough, might be sturdy enough that it could take a bit of pressure, and hopefully it's still enough clearance this way. So I get my drip edge, I get my clearance, and everything lays flush. So that's what I think I'm gonna try. I cut that to length, 6 foot, but I didn't cut the top because I think I have gotta do some final measurements once the wall is up. So we're going to put the side strip on, the bottom strip, side strip, and a piece of paneling, and see what it looks like. All right, well, it's good that someone mentioned that I have that starter strip upside down. So we gotta change that. Of New York and the Department of Education. Okay, we got 1/2 inch foam board. We put some supports in, 1/2 inch foam board, And we got the bottom 2 courses. That should be enough to know if I got enough clearance this way. They'll sit on there, and then if there's enough drip edge this way, and we won't know that till we plug it into the platform, which it is dark outside, and I have to clean this up so I can get my wife's car in. So I think we're at the probably stopping point for today, but that was pretty nice. And that was my thought for those brackets. Put that there and then side up and around it. I just have to see. I might have to get rid of the foam part. I didn't account for that 1/2 inch when I was building. I'll have to see how that all fits together. There's also, I expect them to be over closer, so. Okay, this is the day we're waiting for. We got the supports down the platform. We're gonna put the back wall and see how it goes in, trim the top, and get that all set. So this is the part. We want to make sure that this wall section fits in, has enough offset that drops in, enough overhang to get the keep the water off the thing. Let's see. Go. So number 1, this drops straight in. This short sidewall, there wasn't enough clearance here, so this part would be hitting here. You can see without this 1/2 inch foam board, it hits, then I have to kick this side out. So this offset is enough, and the overhang looks like it's below here. Let's turn this side. So the off is below here, so the water will not get into the floor. So I think that is suitable. All right, now we got to work on the top part. We got to trim this down and get our roof brackets put in. Okay, so this is what I was looking for, is right there. So I didn't want to cut the foam to here because I figured it's probably like a 1/2 inch. I should cut the foam about a 1/2 inch up. So we're going to mark that and cut that. All right, this is our first firing solution. We still gotta put the cover on that, but I want to see if the top opens and closes as it should be. Survey says. Okay, initially it looks like, zoom out. Initially it looks like this is gonna work. Put this cover on, and then I gotta put that other hinge on. All right, so now I'm gonna try to put this ring on. It's here, so I have to notch this so it'll fit in. I could have rotated this. Yeah, I don't know if I could have rotated it that way. I think this is not, wouldn't fit that direction, and that would put a seam at the bottom. I don't want the water dripping out. So I'll try notching it. Okay, not pretty but functional. I had to notch that to get it into there. And I had to cut the top a bit, but it does seem like it all kind of lines up and it's functional. I'll be able to get siding here, put a top strip underneath here, siding will come into here. Yeah, so I'm gonna go put the other side together. Let's see if she works. Survey says. we got this set. We notched this. I like this solution quite a bit. So I'm going to take those two pieces off because I didn't only put 2 screws. I want to put a couple more screws here, a couple more screws on the base thing, cut the rest of the pieces. I want to tack it in a little bit more secure because I would like to try this actually outside before I make any other adjustments. So we're going to kind of make this like a little bit more wind and rain resistant than just the 3 or 4 screws here or there. Where did he sleep, say? All right, we got 3 panels of 1 foot wide siding. We got our thingy dingy there, and a thingy dingy here. And I'm kind of liking things seem to be okay. So let's put the roof on and try it. All right, I'm just thinking that I'm liking this how this came out, and I guess it's really going to determine now if it's going to be weather resistant enough. So to do that, before we put this outside, I need to do these other sides. I think, see, this side's gonna be, this side has to not end here where the wall is, right? That's where the wall, but I have to have it go past over to here, or at least to here. Something sturdy. I don't know, maybe foam board will be enough to get over to here. So I'm not sure, but I probably have to do the front wall. So I gotta take that thing apart and do it similar to that so they can find exact dimensions for doing the end walls. So that's probably the next thing.